Well, so yeah, me and Wes I'll tell you a little bit what we've done. We just kind of started doing this podcast because like I said, I'm from Kentucky and Wes is too, and we just love country so much. So we just wanted to, a lot of people don't talk about it. And I have a lot of friends my age that they'll say, I only know Taylor Swift, or I don't know anything about country. What I listen to. And it's just, I think for us, we're so passionate about it. We want people to understand and know about all this different country music and stuff that's existed. That's kind of
Well,
why we started doing this.
I broke in 61. I had my first session with an unknown female singer from Sweden named Anne Margaret,
Uh-huh.
20-year-old Anne Margaret. I wasn't the only guy in the room distracted.
Yeah.
At the end of that session, bass player Bob Moore walked over to me. You free Friday? I was free the rest of my life. And I said, yeah. He said, come back here. We're recording Roy Orbison. Oh, I was a huge fan of Roy Orbison. And we did a record called Candyman.
Uh-huh. I know that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was when it hit the radio, my phone started ringing. 65 years later, it's still ringing. What a blessing.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I know. And my dad loves Elvis, so I always hear about Anne Margaret.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I heard about her from. So, how did you get into music from West Virginia? Living
Well,
growing up in West Virginia.
I was born in West Virginia, in the town where Hank Williams was found dead.
Mm-hmm.
And at 5 years old, we moved 6 miles north, right on the edge of the New River Gorge.
Okay. My mom is from Hurricane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where my grandparents still live there. So,
Okay. No, I
yeah.
know where that is. It's between Charleston and Huntington.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So not
Yeah.
that's not too far away, right?
Well, it's about 50
Yeah.
miles. Uh, and in 1977, I got to play for the dedication of the New River Gorge Bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful area.
Oh, it is. But when I was 9, moved to Miami, Florida, when everyone there spoke English. And I went to junior high and high school there. And that's where I was introduced to country music because I was a rock and roller. I played Chuck Berry guitar and sang. And one night went to a big dance at a National Guard armory, and it was a weekly thing. It was kind of a big barn dance, and
Uh-huh.
and a friend of mine took me there. And while I was gawking at the crowd doing the Texas two-step in the big circle all around the room, he went up, and the leader of the band said, "We got a guest in the audience tonight. We're going to bring him up." And they called my name. I couldn't believe this. So I walked up and I said, he came by grinning, and I said, "You did this. What if they don't know any of my songs?" He said, "Go up there and find out." So I went up and I said, "You guys know Johnny Be Good?" "Yeah, what key?" I said, "Can I borrow a guitar?" "Yeah." So we did it, and later they offered me come there every Saturday night, play 10 minutes each hour rock and roll. So one night, the great Mel Tillis came in,
Okay.
and I think he'd been drinking.
Sounds about right.
He heard me do Johnny Be Good. And when I came off the stage, he said, "Boy, you come to Nashville, I'll get you on records." Well, that was like showing a steak to a wolf. The day after high school, went to Nashville, went to the office where he gave me a card for. I said, "I'm in town to see Mel Tillis." And the receptionist said, "He's out of town." We didn't have cell phones. or interstates.
Yeah.
And
Right.
but she said, I'll let you talk to his manager. So I went back to talk to the owner of this publishing company, and I started to tell him who I was. He says, Mel told me about you. You want some auditions? Duh. I auditioned for Chet Atkins and Owen Bradley singing Chuck Berry. I didn't even know who they were.
Not because you started as a singer, right? And playing
Yeah, I was
guitar. Yeah.
18 years old. And so Chet Atkins said, well, I think you're pretty good, but we don't do this kind of music here. So I went to see Owen Bradley, same thing. Then he said, I'm having a session this afternoon. You want to come watch? I said, yeah, I might as well. I didn't have anything else to do. I watched 13-year-old Brenda Lee record her first chart record. When I heard the first playback, I said, uh, I don't want to be a singer. I want to do this.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So I went back to Miami, enrolled in the University of Miami School of Music. And before the year's over, I dropped out and went back to Nashville. I decided I don't want to be a music teacher. I want to play, you
Hmm.
know. Plus, I had started harmonica when I was 8 years old. And by this time, I had gotten into Jimmy Reed, Little Walter, all the Delta blues guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So I go up there and I'm living with a songwriter in Nashville. And he did three cool things. Number one, he would have people come over every day and write. And and I was fascinated with this. I just sit and watch and listen. And one day, this woman came over and they were writing this song. And he said, hey, go get your harmonica and play along with us. I said, okay. So I played. He said, I'm going to ask if you can play on a demo session. I love that. So they let me play on the demo session. About 2 weeks, the publisher calls, wants to talk to me. Why me? He said, I just got a call from Chet Atkins. He's recording an unknown singer from Sweden, and he wants you to play exactly what you played on the demo. So publisher went with me to the session. Chet, here's a guy. Chet said, I know you. You auditioned for me, singing, playing a black Les Paul. Chuck Berry. I couldn't believe he
Uh,
remembered that. And then he said, I wish you'd have played that harmonica. We'd have done something. So anyway, we did that song and then we did Candyman. And that was so then the next thing the songwriter did for me, uh, one day he said, hey, so and so can't sit out. Get your guitar. You know those minor chords. And we wrote this song. I thought, this is the stupidest song I've ever heard. It's called The Funnel of Love.
okay.
It was a B-side to Wanda Jackson's biggest hit. And now it's been recorded 20 times and in 7 movies.
Wow.
And
Wow.
every time I get a check, I call my buddy there, the songwriter, and I said,
Uh-huh.
thank you, Santa.
You're like, I can't believe this one.
And then we started another song one day, and he said, hey, you're going to have to sing this. It's not my style. So it was called Cherry Berry Wine.
Okay.
And we demoed it, got a call later. Archie Blyer from Cadence Records wants you to record this song. Me? So I did. In 1961, it went to the Billboard Pop Charts, number 99 for 1 week, and then
Wow.
dropped out. But I have been in the pop chart
Hey, I mean,
1 week.
especially for country crossover, that's been pretty rare.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I got started. And
Uh-huh.
at 20 years old, and that great group of musicians, they were later be called the Nashville A-Team, accepted me with them. And what an education, because those guys in the sessions, they were making the record. All they had was mono and stereo.
Uh-huh.
There was no overdubs, no fixing mistakes.
Was it 4-track back then?
No, it was a
It was two
two-track
track.
and a mono. And if everybody had to be right, the singer, the background singers, the musicians, and the engineer. And if somebody messed up, everybody had to do it again. So
Yeah.
that's the way it started in Nashville. Just they did, because, and then we eventually saw 4-track, then 8,
Mm.
then 16, finally 24, and now who knows how many. But so that's the way it started. Uh, I would think, I got to play on some great records.
Oh yeah.
You know, Tanya Tucker and Barbara Mandrell and George Jones and Tom T. Hall, and I got to do 13 albums with Elvis
Mm.
Yeah.
and 5 with Dylan, and it's been great. But I'm still working. I don't work with anybody you've ever heard of anymore because a lot of times producers, if you're my age, they think he's either retired, dead, or completely out of touch.
Yeah.
They get this thought, or if they see your resume, they're they're like, I don't want to, I don't want to get this guy. You
Been
know,
on
he,
too much stuff.
he knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, but it's been a blessing. It has, and then of course I played in. I worked on Hee Haw for 18 years.
Yeah, we were kind of curious about that. We're both, I mean, we're younger. We're both 34, but my parents loved Hee Haw, and I've gone back and watched a lot of the episodes. How'd you get on that?
Well, I got called to come down and play on one show behind Ray Charles,
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
and at the end of the show, the producer walked up to me and he said, "Come back to my office. I want to talk to you." So I went back and he said, "Would you consider becoming a member of the Hee Haw band?" And I said, "Well, man, I'm awful busy these days doing studio work." He said, "The band doesn't come in that often. We have music days and comedy days. The comedy days, the band is not even there.
Okay.
He said, I would say the band is here 8 or 9 days in a month. That's it.
Oh wow.
We record 13 shows in 1 month in June, and then come back in October and do 13 shows in October.
Okay.
Then they rerun all 26 through the summer,
Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, I'll try this. If it doesn't, get in the way of the studio stuff. And anyway, it worked great. It was so much fun.
I imagine.
But we were in a local TV station in Nashville, barely enough room for their employees. And here we come in there with a cast of 30. It was madness,
I bet.
total madness. And a few years later, the Gaylords bought the show and moved it out to Opryland.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Behind the Opry, there's a huge TV studio. And they could set up 4 comedy sets at once and go to one, do 13 episodes, go to the second one, do 13. It got a lot more uh, convenient, and it was a lot, more efficient
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
And
And
Hee Haw ran until the 90s, I think early 90s, I think it was on. Is that right?
what's that now?
Hee Haw was on up until I think the early 90s. Is that right?
Uh, uh, well, it was a syndicated show,
Hmm.
which means it was not tied to a network. In Nashville, it was on a ABC affiliate. In Memphis, it may have been on an NBC affiliate. And but finally, it got the whole country, and the show was on 24 years, which was amazing.
Yeah,
And
astounding. Yeah.
yep, and I talked to so many people that, oh, that was our Saturday night ritual.
Yeah, my
Your
whole family
family
said that. Yeah.
with
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. It was very great. But I enjoyed doing that. And then the best thing that's happened to me lately is that almost 4 years ago, I was made a member of the Opry.
Oh wow.
That's
Congratulations.
So,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm even, and I never thought that would happen because I don't live there 3 months a year anymore.
Yeah.
I live down here, but they invited me in, and it's been so great. I did 45 shows last year
Wow.
in 9 months on the Opry. So it's been really cool.
Did you ever play it back in the 60s or anything?
Ever
Or
played?
at the Opry, did you ever play back when you're doing more studio work, or was that the first time when they
No,
inducted you?
I had I had a little streak there in the 70s with instrumental chart records.
Hmm.
And I got on the Opry, oh, 3 or 4 times in the 70s. But
Okay.
back then, and I did get invited to be a member then, but back then it was a different leadership. You
Okay.
had to commit 26 weekends a year.
Wow.
And I
Oh,
had 2 kids growing up doing sessions all week long, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was actually, you mentioned that. I was listening to this morning. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
this on my turntable this morning. But a great record.
The greatest thing about it, that record company, Monument,
Uh-huh.
uh, they let us go off and do crazy album covers.
I was gonna ask you about that. How did you come up with some of your album covers? You have some awesome ones.
Well, Monument was signed a distribution deal with Columbia Records,
Okay.
later Sony, and they had an art guy in Nashville that
Uh-huh.
did all their covers for all the country artists,
Okay.
George Jones, Tammy Wynette, all those people. But most of those covers back then were a headshot of the artist.
Yeah, I know.
And he said to me, he said, "Listen, would you be game for let's getting a little experimental with these covers? Let's do something crazy." And I said, "Absolutely,
I love that.
you go for it." And that our first cover was that uh, harmonica in a hot dog bun,
I saw
an
that one.
American flag plate,
Yeah.
the real McCoy.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I said, "Yes, that's it." And then from then on, I said, "You got it. You go for it. I
There's
love it."
some great ones.
And actually, that album won a Grammy, the real McCoy.
Hmm.
And then our third album after we were with Columbia was called Good Time Charlie, and it won. It was number 1 on the Billboard chart, album chart. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
wow.
it's
I
been
mean,
fun, but it was a lot of fun making records back then. And oh, the great thing was the producer was the same guy that had Orbison, Dolly Parton, the Gatlin brothers, Boots Randolph, uh, a bunch of people. And he never once came to the studio when I recorded. He said, "You know what you're doing, go on."
that's amazing.
And it was great. Yeah. So
Did you something we were curious about with because we've been covering different albums, just talking about ones we like. We did Jeannie C. Riley, which I know you played on Harper Valley. We were talking about Country Girl, and we did Linda Martell, Charlie Pride, Burgers and Fries. We talked about that one last week. How was it? Because you worked with about every producer in Nashville. How did it? Was it hard to work between the different ones? Because I know a lot of them had pretty different techniques and how they went about it.
no, it was well, to begin with, there was the Owen Bradley studio,
Uh
and then after that got really going. See, because there was the way that happened was Owen and his brother Harold.
huh. Uh huh.
He said Harold told me the story. So we were talking one day, and Owen said, "You know what is stupid?" And he said, "What?" And he said, "The Opry artists in this town have no place to record. They've got to go out of town to make records. This is stupid. They
Really?
live here. Musicians are here. They need to record here." So they went and built the first studio. And all of a sudden, it was busy, busy.
Uh-huh.
RCA looked at it and said, "Oh, we got to have one of those." So they built Studio B, which was just around the corner.
Okay.
And for about 4 or 5 years, those two studios were doing everything. And that same one handful of musicians were doing them. So if you went late over here and you had the next session over there, it would start late.
Uh-huh.
That's the way it was. But in RCAB, they for some reason the second studio was called A, and the first one B. The same thing at Bradley. The second one was called A,
That's
and
funny.
so anyway, uh, RCAB. That's where Elvis, Everly's, Orbison
Uh-huh.
recorded, and the B was Brenda Lee, Sonny James, Tammy Wynette, George Jones. Lots, but it was amazing the way things really took off then. And the biggest thing that happened in Nashville, as far as the business, was Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan
Yeah.
came in '65. The floodgates opened with country rock. The people influenced by the San Francisco, you know,
Uh-huh.
uh, what it was, Haight Ashbury,
Yeah.
all the hippies were. Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably a weird mix there in Nashville.
yeah.
Back then
But
especially.
no, it was like Dylan gave Nashville his stamp of approval
Yeah.
because he was the king of that movement. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we wasn't trying to be, but they all idolized him. And when he came there and did Blonde on Blonde, his biggest album, boy, it just and now all of a sudden there's need for more studios. More musicians are getting to work because the A team were busy, busy with their regular country accounts,
Yeah.
you know, and it was great for Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Dylan poster back there next to my George Jones and Johnny Page. So you see, I love all of it. A random question: did you play on Neil Young's Harvest?
No,
Okay, because there was
Neil
like,
Young played himself.
yeah, that's what I thought so. But there was some that said the A-Cats played on. I was like, huh.
That was another example of
Yeah,
a folk rock artist that came to Nashville. He
yeah,
recorded in Nashville, the same studio where Joan Baez and Buffy St. Marie recorded all their stuff.
yeah.
What do you think it was about Nashville that made them want to come and record there?
In Nashville, like a guy asked me from the BBC a couple of years ago. He said, "Why does everybody want to record in Nashville?" He said, "Well," I started to say, and he says, "But in America, you've got the Wrecking Crew, you've got Memphis, you've got Muscle Shoals, you've got Motown." I said, "Let me tell you the difference. Wrecking Crew, all written arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
Motown, Memphis, Muscle Shoals. You sign up for a project. If it lasts 2 days or 2 months, you're there. In Nashville, it's all union. Sessions are 3 hours, and you get paid. And if you work a lot, you get a pension. I'm so blessed. I don't have to work if I don't want to.
Yeah,
I've got a very nice pension. But anyway, but what I love it, I was taught by Harold Brantley early on. Well, I'll tell you this. This is funny. About '63, I've been recording. I've been doing sessions 2 years,
uh-huh.
feeling pretty good about myself. We started our morning session, and I was going to fill a verse, and I was just going crazy. They said, "Let's have a playback." Grady Martin walks over to me.
Oh
"Come
wow.
outside a minute." We walked outside, and he said, "You've got what it takes to stay around here a long time, but you're playing too much." What a wake up call that was. So I go in kind of in a state of shock, and I listen to him play, you know,
He was
and I,
amazing.
less is more. And then after the session, Harold Bradley walked over. I saw Grady take you outside. What did he say? I said, he said I was playing too much, and he was right. And Harold said this is the main thing about Nashville. He says, the song and the singer are the picture, we are the frame,
Wow,
period.
that's amazing.
And that's
I
that's
mean,
the way it works there. And it's
it
still that way.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense because that's something because we were talking about those the Linda Martell and the Jeannie C. Riley album. Both were Shelby Singleton produced them, and they were made the same year, and both had what was that song was Almost Called Your Name.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking about like how it's crazy, those same guys that were working on that album recorded the same song and probably around the same time, and they don't even sound the same at all.
Hey,
I
there
didn't,
was one day, Shelby Singleton booked 3 sessions, 3 different artists, recorded 3 number 1 records.
yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, we were talking about you worked with Jerry Kennedy some too, right?
Jerry was so
Yeah.
great. He just passed away,
I
by the way.
know. We were really
Yeah.
we're big
Yeah.
fans of him.
Yeah, Jerry was great. Not only as a guitar player, Harper Valley PTA, that,
Oh,
you know, guitar dobro he played
yeah.
on that was
It's
magic.
unreal.
And but then when Shelby got out of it, he took over for Mercury Records.
Uh-huh.
One of the artists he brought in was Reba McEntire.
Oh, wow. I didn't
And
realize.
when they decided that Jerry Lee Lewis was going to do some country, he signed with Mercury and Jerry was his producer. And that's when we did What Made Milwaukee Famous.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
love those records. I think they're not as
Yeah,
appreciated as they should have been.
yeah,
You made some amazing country records.
yeah. There were a lot of amazing producers. Some of them were really easy to work with. Some of them were like Billy Sherrill was hands on,
Yeah, I've heard that.
but he cut great records. You
Oh,
cannot, you know, gee. Uh, but yeah, it's been amazing. Sometimes I look back and it's like a fairy tale.
I
Did
can't
all this
imagine.
happen?
Was there anything that, like, when you look at back at it now, is there any session work that's like you feel like it's the best work you ever did or like the most special?
Well, uh, I think one of them is He Stopped Loving Her Today.
I understand. I think that's probably Wes and I's favorite song.
Well, one of the best
Uh,
songs ever,
Maybe
really.
the
Yeah.
best
well,
song. Yeah.
you know, the piano player was Pig Robbins,
Oh yeah. I
who's
love Pig.
blind.
Yeah.
So they started with Billy Sherrill sat at the piano and played the song, and George Jones sang it. All you need to do is play it once, and Pig had it.
Uh
So then he said, "Okay." He got up, and said, "I'm going to go in the control room. Let's hear everybody's first impression as
uh
we run through the song." And then he saw me, and he forgot I was on the session.
oh yeah, your
But,
harmonica's there, but it's
get
yeah.
something on the second verse. That's what he told me, and
Uh
that was, I think that might have been the least I've ever played on a record.
that's perfect.
Yeah, but anyway, and the main thing too in Nashville, we learned to listen to the lyrics.
Hmm.
Don't play heavy metal behind a beautiful love song.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the best thing about country. There's the lyrics too. I mean, and the instrumentation is simple, but like you guys are always playing stuff that's complicated in its own way too.
yeah. I love R&B music,
Hmm.
and but until really, Motown was a place that all of a sudden had lyrics with stories, and you know, whereas
Yeah.
a lot of the R&B was just dance music,
Hmm.
and like what was his face? Uh, Oh, he did it between every line. He'd go, "Oh, ah,
James
good God,"
Brown.
you
Oh
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but anyway, uh, but country music, the lyrics were the thing,
Oh yeah.
and
I
It
gotta.
feels like a lot of times when we're covering these albums and we're talking through some of those songs, that's what we like to talk about is how much the lyrics and the voice shines in country music in a way that it doesn't in really anything else.
yep, yeah, it's yeah. There's been so many. I've got these big books. This guy named Joel collects all the charts, every song. I've got a book over here, pop charts from
Oh wow.
1955 to 1990, every record in the top 100. It's incredible. Boy, what a, you go looking back through there, so many records you forgot, but that you
Yeah.
really liked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Do you remember everything you played on at this point?
no.
Yeah. You're. I was reading your book. You did like 400 a year for a while. Is that what you're?
Yeah, it was like that. And that was another reason I turned the Opry down in the 70s. I
Yeah.
had two small kids growing up.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't do that. And then in the 90s and early, well, through 2021, I was going to Europe and Japan
Oh wow.
to play on shows. And I did that a lot. I've got a back problem now. I gave it up in 21 because
I'm sorry.
I can't imagine an 8 hour flight. I can't, I the thought of it just, I
Yeah.
don't want to do
That's
it
a lot.
anymore. But I've been there plenty, but I had a great time, and I got a lot of friends in Europe and a lot of friends in Japan. If you look at my Facebook page from time to time,
Okay.
you you can spot 9 languages in there.
I'll have to look at it. That's amazing. You're talking about Motown. I have one question. So we kind of started this because we're big Gary Stewart fans. He did a Motown single there for a while, but we saw you. Do you remember playing on Out of Hand at all, Gary Stewart?
Gary Stewart,
Uh-huh.
I remember recording with Gary Stewart.
Did you just play on She's Acting Single, or do you remember it all?
No, I don't remember at all. I think I only played on 1 or 2 sessions with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're about to do a deep dive on him. He has a book, a guy there. I think they're doing a presentation on the Country Music Hall of Fame there, but there's a book coming out about him that we're excited to read. He's a favorite of mine.
the I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. About
Yeah.
Gary Stewart, we were just curious. Yeah,
Uh, well, I don't remember that much about him, but I hear him a lot on. I hear him on Willie's Roadhouse.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, same.
He was
Yeah.
great. What a
I mainly listen to Willie's Roadhouse and
Me
Bluegrass
too.
Johnson these days.
We're
Yeah,
actually the same.
yeah.
We have that on our radio too.
I love on Willie's, I really like when Dallas Wayne is playing stuff. He's
Yeah,
always playing some good tunes.
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I do have a. Do you have any? Because he's my favorite ever. I grew up listening to Elvis. Do you have any Elvis stories or what it was like working with him at all?
Yeah. Uh, 1965. Uh, they were going to do a soundtrack to the movie Harem Scarum,
Uh huh.
and the movie company called Scotty Moore
Yeah.
and said, "You got to change the date of the recording. There's a problem. We're
Uh
just
huh.
not going to be ready to do it." And he says, "Tell all the musicians to change the date." And Scotty said, "These guys may already be working somewhere else." And he said, "Tell them to cancel. It's Elvis." And he said, "In Nashville, you don't cancel one artist for another. You just don't do it." He
Yeah.
said, "Don't worry about it. I'll get you a band." So we got Kenny Buttry on drums, Henry Strzelecki, uh, Pig Robbins, Country Music Hall of Famer, Grady Martin, Country Music Hall of
Uh
Famer,
huh.
you know, and us musicians, we didn't know what to expect
Yeah.
because Elvis had never worked with any of us. And he was so great. He walked in the door, walked over to each one of us, shook our hand, and said, "Thank you for helping me."
Wow.
So, a couple of funny things happened. One day, one time, they were taking a break, and he was over talking to the Jordanaires.
Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah.
was walking by, and I happened to hear him say, Gordon Stoker was the high voice in the Jordanaires. He says, "Gordon, do I sound like those guys that try to imitate me?" But the best one, we're recording with him in 1970. He did a bunch of sessions that were later have been called the marathon sessions.
Yeah, those are my favorite of his, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Doing songs that he wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot
Finally.
of politics behind that Elvis Presley music group.
Yep.
Anyway, Chip Young, guitar player, we were kind of in a lull, and he said, "Elvis, if a guy came at you with a pistol, what would you do?" And he said, "Oh, well, no, show us what you do." So he called for Red West, one of the Memphis Mafia,
Yeah.
to come out. And he said, "Get your pistol out." And he pulled his pistol out, and Chip said, "Is that loaded?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, "Unload it first." So he unloaded this, and he came walking toward Elvis, and Elvis did this karate move, and this pistol went flying through the air and stuck in the back of Chip's guitar,
Oh my
punched a hole in the back of it, and it was just hanging there.
God.
And Elvis said, "Whoever's guitar that is, I'll buy you a new one." And Chip said, "No way. I'm the only guy in the world with a guitar with a hole made by Elvis."
Oh man. Chip Young was amazing. I love that it's your baby, you rock it that you play harmonica
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, Elvis really went crazy about Jerry Reed.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they did Guitar Man, and we did uh, Big Boss Man.
Oh yeah.
Jerry was playing on it. I was playing harp on it. And then I think the one I liked on there was he did "Wash My Hands in Muddy Water."
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was that Stonewall Jackson that originally did that one? Or who was the original of that? You
yeah.
remember?
It was written by a background singer. Joe Babcock was his name.
Oh, okay.
They had a group called the Nashville Edition. They did a lot of session work, singing background.
I've noticed that name, yeah. The
Yeah.
Jordanaires, man, they were
So in the
something else too.
beginning, the Jordanaires and there's a group, the Anita Kerr Singers.
Uh-huh.
They were doing almost everything.
Yep. I mean that Jordanaires were I can see why Elvis wanted them to be on so much stuff because it's hard to just man, I
Oh,
love listening to them.
he loved the gospel music too.
Didn't you play on the gospel one?
I played on one, yeah.
Yeah.
And one Christmas,
Really?
we did a Christmas album in July, and we came in the studio and they had a Christmas tree up.
Oh no. Set the mood. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was. Oh, and another fun one we did. We recorded with Fats Domino in the '80s, and we're kind of in a break. And you
Uh-huh.
know, back in the '50s and '60s, I think there were many black artists who got cheated out of money.
Yeah, I imagine.
So one of Chip asked Fats, "Do you think you ever got all the money you were supposed to get?" And Fats said, "Well, I always had a new car and a new suit, and all the money I could spend, I didn't ask no questions."
That's yeah, there's
Yeah.
no way. I mean, yeah, I was reading your book where were a big fan of him growing up, right? Blueberry
of,
Hill of Fats. In your book, you were talking about growing up. You're a big fan of him,
of
of Fats
Fats.
Domino.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 First song I ever sang in public, you know, teenager. Yes, it's me, and I'm in love again. You know,
Oh, his voice was unbelievable.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
Great records he made.
Oh yeah. I love Blueberry Hill. It's a great one. Well, we don't want to take too much more of your time. It really means a lot that you want to talk with us. I mean,
Well, enjoyed it, and I'm so proud of Nashville and what happened there, and what's
yeah.
still happening there.
Yeah.
Sadly, the record business is going down the tubes.
I know.
You know, uh, it's it. I mean, I bought a 21 Honda, and the first thing I did was go get a CD player for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's kind of why we want to do this because you listen to what people call country now, and I'm just, I don't even know what this is. It doesn't sound like anything.
I
No.
know, I know. It's oh well, it's
Yeah,
another generation.
it
And
is.
I don't ever work for any of those people,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, very young producers. If a guy's been doing this for years and years, I think either he must be retired, or he must be dead, or he must be out of touch.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, or some of them are intimidated by somebody with so much experience.
Yeah.
And but like I said, I still work. I did 70 sessions last year,
Oh, wow.
and mostly were people you've never heard of. But I don't care if they love the music and they want to do it. Hey, I'm up for it.
I mean, we love that you're at. I mean, that's
Yeah,
really cool. And
yeah,
it's not nice you keep supporting
yep.
and wanting to play with people. Yeah.
And and it's such a blessing at this age to still be able to do it.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, I mean, we looking at all this stuff, even we talked about Jerry Kennedy and, Chip Young and all those guys. We're so
Yep.
thankful you want to talk to us because sadly, it's just a lot of you guys are not
Oh yeah.
around, and it's
Yep.
really sad because
Yep. Yeah. I guess of the Nashville A team, I'm the last man standing.
I know.
They're all
Yeah,
gone.
that'd
Yeah.
be true. Yeah, I was trying to think of, yeah.
Yep.
I guess
They
as
just
far as
passed,
maybe James Burton's still around, there's
maybe.
other people. I know he's still alive, but I don't. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of other Nashville cats still out there.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Well,
Nope.
I haven't been in Nashville. I've been here about 12 years, but I've been coming here since the early 2000s, and it's always meant a lot to me for a lot of reasons. And
Are you living there
uh,
now?
I do live here now. Um,
Well, if you ever want to do the Hall of Fame or RCAB, I can set it up for nothing.
oh, I'd love that. I mean, that means the world to me and Josh. This era of music and what Nashville did for country music is.
Well, you got my email now,
Yeah,
and if you know, that's one thing. That's one of the perks of being a Hall of Fame member is
yeah,
that we can invite anybody we want all the time to the Hall of Fame and to RCAB
wow.
because the Hall of Fame runs the RCAB tour.
Uh,
They have
Okay,
a
yeah.
shuttle from the Hall of Fame that goes out to the studio and then brings you back to the Hall of Fame. What I tell people to do is do both of them in the same day. The Hall of Fame, the RCA is once you get there, it's about a 1 hour thing.
okay.
So you go out in the morning, do that, come back, get a little snack in there. You know, they got a snack place in the lobby, and then go through the hall. And also, if I'm playing the Opry, I can get you in there for nothing.
Wow.
I'd love to see you play. That'd be amazing.
You might
Yeah,
convince me to fly out. I'd like to see that.
yeah. You can always look at uh, click on Grand Ole Opry and calendar, and that tells you who's playing every night on the and since the Opry changed leadership about
Uh-huh.
14 years ago, oh my gosh, they're going 5 and 6 nights a week now
Wow.
in the summer, especially. It's crazy. I mean, it used to be for a while, for years, it was only Saturday. Then
Yeah.
they added Friday to it. And now you can go Tuesday through Saturday. and and I mean in the spring and summer and early fall.
Okay.
But yeah, it's but yeah. So like I said, you can look on there and see, and if you see my name on there and you think and you're free, reach out to me and I'll see if I have any. I get 10 tickets every show
Okay.
All
to
right.
give away. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
All
will
right.
do that.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks again. I think also this is special for me since, half of my family's West Virginia, and so I know that means
Oh,
a little
really?
bit more. Yeah, where I say my mom's from Hurricane.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
there's
Yeah.
not as many musicians that you think about from West Virginia, so it's pretty cool.
I remember when the coal mines died out and
Yeah.
all this, and then they got into the tourism, the whitewater down the New River. I did it 5 times.
Really?
Yeah. And, but there's also the Gauley River,
Uh-huh.
but they don't let you go down that unless you've got lots of experience because the rapids are all class 5 and 6s,
Oh, wow.
and there's
Oh.
no space, no quiet space in between the rapids.
Uh-huh.
In the New River, there's a lots of flat water between the rapids, so it's and the scenery down there is so great.
It's beautiful, yeah. My grandpa's originally from Buffalo,
Okay.
but yeah. Yeah, they still live, thankfully they're still with me. So they live in Hurricane still, so
Yeah.
I talked to them the other day. So
All right.
yeah. Well, thanks again,
Fantastic.
Charlie. I appreciate you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, we thank you
Uh,
so much.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Glad to hear there's still some great country fans.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're with us too. Well, keep talking. Take care, Charlie.